Alright, we're here with Mike from Raw Vegan Training.
And Mike from Fruit and Strength.
We're just going to talk about each another's, fitness and what we eat and things like that. So, Mike, how long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan since about 2001, so it's a good number of years now. I kind of got into college and decided that it was the right thing to do. I'd been vegetarian for a couple of years before that, and originally went vegan for health reasons, and or not health reasons, sorry, ethical reasons, and then got into it for the health reasons and decided to stick with it because it was so good for that. Yeah.
And how did you get into the whole fruit base?
I got into the fruit thing basically from my wife, who read 80-10-10 and said, "This is an amazing book, you need to check it out." We'd actually tried raw food before, which she also introduced me to. She read 12 Steps to Raw Food, I think. And we got into that, got into gourmet food, high fat, kind of raw stuff. And we tried that for like about a year. It didn't really work out so well. I actually ended up losing a lot of weight. I got down to like 115 pounds at like 5% body fat when I was trying to gain weight. Yeah. But I was reading this one book, and it was saying like, just eat more nuts, eat more avocados, have more oil on your salad. So I was doing that for a long time, but basically we just crashed after a while.
Yeah, a lot of people think that you're going to gain weight on a nut and seed and avocado type diet.
Yeah.
And it's just opposite. I know there is some really lean people that eat a lot of fat in their diet. I think what happens is that they get so satiated from the fat calories that they can't eat anymore. Yeah. Is that what it seemed like happening with you?
That's exactly, I think, what my experience was. I would have a bunch of olive oil and avocado, and I'd be like, okay, I'm cool, but like, really, I had maybe like 100 calories or something.
What would an average day look like for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
For that?
For like
that time?
Yeah.
I think I would get up and just like smash like a couple handfuls of cashews. I think that was the big majority of my breakfasts.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd have a piece of fruit, which is just terrible food combining. And then for like every day at work, I'd bring some like dehydrated raw food dish. So like we would make like sprouted buckwheat calzone. That was just like a lot of nuts, a lot of buckwheat, then a couple like leaves of spinach thrown in for the sauce. And we'd dehydrate this like brick, and then I'd cut it out, and then that would be my lunch for the week. And so I'd have that, and then I'd come home and I'd basically get a salad of some spinach, and then drench it in olive oil, throw a bunch of sea salt on it, and then some pine nuts, and maybe some other nuts.
It's basically fat on fat and fat. Jeez. Yeah. I've never went that route. With me, I went straight to the fruit. How I got started with the whole fruit diet. Well, I started when I was about 16 years old, which was about 16 years ago. I stopped drinking milk. That was a big change for me. The internet just came about, and I looked up the benefits of milk, and I found this website called notmilk.com, and it really changed my view on nutrition and things like that, because everybody's saying, oh, you gotta drink milk for bones and muscles and things like that. And I read it, and they said, stop drinking milk for about 2 weeks, and then try drinking a couple big glasses of milk. And I found that I had an upset stomach and migraines and everything. I had a lot of migraines back in the day, and I thought they were just like headaches, and everybody got them. And I would get these headaches where I have to like sit in my room for like an hour until they go away. It was really bad. These stomach aches too, and I would have like night sweats and stomach aches, and it would be like almost like a twisting feeling with the stomach aches. Well, in my early 20s, I got into a vegan diet, primarily because I saw a documentary called Meet Your Meat, hosted by Alec Baldwin, and that documentary really opened my mind, and it just really disgusted me. And I was just moving out of my parents' house, and like the thought of going to a grocery store and picking up like meat and everything just really grossed me out, because the salmonella, it just did not look clean. Plus, I didn't like what the animals were going through, or even the people cutting up the animals. It just looked really gross. I can't see cutting a cow neck for like 8 hours at a time. So it just spoke a lot to me. And then I got into the whole fruit thing because for mainly for health reasons. I was doing a Dr. McDougall type diet, high starch, a lot of grains, and I was eating this kashi cereal, this whole grain kashi cereal, and I thought it was the best thing ever, and I was eating a whole bunch of it, and I noticed that after a while I would go to the bathroom and I would be bleeding from it. So I go to the doctor, and I was scared because I was like bleeding when I'm going to the bathroom, and I thought I had like colon cancer or something. And the doctor says, you need to eat more fiber, drink more water, and stay away from bananas and chocolate. Stay away from bananas and chocolates. Ironically, my mom brought home a banana chocolate cake that day. I still ate it. I was like, I'll start tomorrow. And I actually stuck with that. You know, there's some people that are like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, and then they never go with it. Yeah, so I didn't eat bananas or chocolate after that. And it was just getting worse and worse. I was eating more of the cereal, and I thought it was the best thing ever, eating more whole grains, whole grain breads, Ezekiel bread. And it was just getting worse. I was bleeding and ruining my pants and stuff. And yeah, it was nasty. And then I just kind of gave up, and I was like, I'll eat just refined grains and, you know, white rice, white pasta, you know, potatoes and things like that. And actually, I did get better. So, and then I read another thing I was going through was I was having a lot of sinus issues, and I went through 3 sinus surgeries where they went up my sinuses and they burned away polyps in my nose. And yeah, I went for this one surgery, and they're like, well, you know, I go back to the doctor. I'm like, nothing really changed. You know, I still have a lot of pain. And then they told me, well, we don't know what's really going on with your nose. It's really inflamed in there, but, you know, you can sign up for another surgery. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to go do something else. I want to try that raw vegan diet I've always wanted to try out. Yeah, and like, I was going to go the route that he was, that he went through, because that's all the books are like, dehydrate this for so many, you know, eat all nuts and seeds, don't eat a lot of fruit because of the sugar. And it wasn't until I read a article by that was done on vegsource.com, and they were saying that it's better than the McDougall program, same 80-10-10 principle, but in a raw form. And it was the fruit-based side, and I almost bought it as a novelty purchase. I'm like, yeah, right, I'm just going to learn how to eat more fruit. But, you know, this whole idea that it's primarily fruit, and I was like, man, I bet you at the end of the book he's going to sell like some kind of protein supplement or something. So that, you know, I bought it for a novelty purchase, and then at the end of the month, it was December, I was like, I'll do it for New Year's resolution. I did it for 30 days, and I just stuck with it ever since. It's been close to 7 years now. 2008 is when I started. So, and you've been getting into training too. So how long have you been training, and what kind of, are you primarily powerlifting, bodybuilding, or both?
Yeah, so I've been training for a while. I think I started really getting into weight training probably around 2007. And that was actually around the time when we first started experimenting with raw foods on the gourmet side. Yeah. And so it was really funny because I was eating raw food, which I thought would make me stronger and stuff, and I was like losing weight, and I was weight training on top of it. So like it was doing exactly the opposite of what I hoped. So I was kind of like off and on after that. I got a little discouraged, of course, as most people would. Yeah. But then really, actually this time last year is when I decided that it would be a really good idea to just go full bore on 80-10-10 fruit-based. And that's when I started really seriously lifting. I actually started doing like starting strength, that training program for barbell training. And that's really helped me a lot. I mean, since then we could throw up a before and after picture when we upload this video. Yeah. But I literally went from like, about 115, 120 to like 150.
That's crazy.
And basically, I think I was honestly like 130 around at this time at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And then through weight training and fruit-based diet, I got to like 150.
And that's actually
tons of muscle and strength.
And that's less protein, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the high-fat raw.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not even needing to pay attention to protein. That was a really hard thing for me to get out of my
mindset.
I know.
That was the scariest thing for me. Yeah. It was like, that's why I started doing fitness challenges, because I had to prove it to myself. And it's one thing to read it from a book or a study, but to actually put it into practice is really scary. Yeah. And like back in the day, there is no vegan, fruit-based athletes out there. You know, Mikkei Arnesen was just, the first year, the only athlete I knew was this guy named Richard Hawthorne, which he's saying that, not Richard Hawthorne, but Richard Blackman. He said he's like living on a, you remember him.
And then he went like breatharian.
Yeah, you went breatharian, liquidarian and stuff. Yeah, he said, I've been on a fruit-based diet for 14 years. It really inspired me to do all these like fitness stunts, like one-handed push-ups, chin-ups, and stuff like that. Just amazing athlete. And then all of a sudden he got all crazy. He's like, I'm a liquidarian. Then he was like a breatharian. And he really inspired me. He was really fit, but now we just think he's kind of crazy. Unless, I don't know, who knows, there might be something with that. But he's got to really prove it to the world if he wants to come out with, I'm just living on air.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a challenging fight. But yeah, I mean, stuff like the Woodstock Fruit Festival has really helped change my perspective on raw food and really given me the confidence to like go after it and do the weight training and try to like be one of the other examples for like the possibilities of this diet. Like honestly, when I first started getting into it, most of the stuff I read about until I like landed here in New York last year, it was like raw food is awesome for weight loss. Like raw food will give you like a sexy butt. It's gonna be awesome. Like you'll lose weight. You can eat as much as you want. And I was like male role models. Like I'm already afraid I'm gonna like lose too much weight if I like eat only fruit. Like I need something to like tell me that's not gonna happen. And it was awesome coming to Woodstock and being like, oh, Mike Arnesen, he's an ultra runner. He's amazing, and like Mike Velocity like can lift weights, and he's been doing a fruitarian diet for years. And then so many people who like, some people have YouTube channels, some people don't, but they've been doing it for so long and they're fine and they're not losing weight. They're doing really well. So being in a place like this is awesome for that.
Doug Graham just he just made an announcement that he's going to be competing in a powerlifting competition. And he started lifting about like a couple years ago at 60-something years old. So, and he's doing more than double body weight on the deadlifts, and he just did his body weight on the bench press like 5 or 6 times, at 60-something years old. And actually, compared to other people who are his age that are going to be competing, he's actually doing pretty good for how little training he's been doing. So I'm really, really impressed with what Doug Graham's been able to do, and I inspired him. I remember the very first Woodstock, I was talking to him about it. He's like, oh, maybe I'll get into that. And then after a while, he got better and better at it. And what's an average day for like calories and like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you?
Yeah, I definitely want to make like a day in the life video for myself. Just to kind of show people what I do. But really what I've been doing, I think, is typically like a big banana day smoothie for breakfast. I know a lot of people advocate for like having the juicy fruits in the morning, but for some reason, like it's just hard for me mentally to have like that energy, I guess, to keep going through the day. So it helps me to start with something a little heavier, even though it's not ideal.
And it's satiating.
I'm going to try doing like a lot more like the oranges and mangoes while it's still summer at least, and try to like start with juicy fruit. But a giant smoothie, something in the morning, like I'm trying to get away from tracking calories, but really shooting for something like over 800 calories maybe in the morning. And then I have a lot of fruit throughout the day at work. Like I work an office job like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 even. And so I just have a ton of fruit in the office with me at all times. And sometimes it's like dates, and I just like have a bowl of dates at my desk, and I'm just popping those all day. And actually, I convinced my office to get fruit delivered to the office every week for like everybody. So now there's like fruit in the office. There's like always bananas and mangoes and cherries now for the next couple months or next month. So there's lots of fruit in the office, and I bring my own, of course, and sometimes I'll have some juice as well. And then get home, have a big salad, and then pretty much call it a day. Yeah.
And like, do you eat nuts and seeds to small amounts?
Not really anymore. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like the raw food diet that I was previously doing, it was all nuts and seeds. But I've been trying to really just pay attention to the advice of like people who have done it and been successful, and they're like, I don't really need all the nuts and seeds. And so I tried it, and it's been good. Yeah, I haven't needed it at all. And
what kind of training do you do? I mean, like, I don't know if you want to give like a basic, like how many times a week do you do each exercise? Say like squats and deadlifts and bench.
Yeah, right now I'm basically doing 3 to 4 workouts a week, usually 4. Like if I'm feeling well and feeling like I'm getting good recovery, I'll do the 4 workouts, but at least 3. And I'm still kind of doing variants of starting strength right now. So that program is basically prescribing squatting every day, pretty heavy, and then alternating days with bench press, shoulder press, power cleans is on one day, and then also deadlifts and then pull-ups.
So just deadlift one time a week?
Deadlift one time a week. And then actually what I'm starting to do is incorporate Olympic lifting on Saturdays. So that's like the fun day where it's not on the program, so I just like work on cleans and snatches and stuff like that. That's actually something I've become like really passionate about. Like it's just
Olympic,
not necessarily passionate about, but it really interests me. Because there's so much like complexity and there's
plus
so much
you could train for the Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for powerlifting, there isn't really much attention towards it. Olympic weightlifting is where it's at. They should have an Olympics.
Yeah.
So we need that. Oh, I was wondering how, like your progression of weights, like how much were you benching before and how much are you benching now?
Oh yeah, so it's funny. I have all these memories from when we first went raw. So when we first went raw, we had roommates. We were doing the gourmet thing, and they were just regular meat-eating people. And one of my roommates had a bench out in the backyard, and I didn't have any training on like benching and proper form and anything. But he'd go out there and he'd bench 100 pounds. And I was like, man, that's awesome. I hope someday I could do that. And one day when nobody was home, I went and had like the 100 pounds on it, like unracked it, and it just fell on my chest. I had to like squirm out of it.
I had one of those situations.
Like, one day I'll do that. So I think by the time Woodstock Fruit Festival last year rolled around, I was doing like maybe 110, which was awesome for me. I was like, this is amazing. Like I'm eating fruit and I can do this. But since then I've gone up to like 150. So that's body weight. But I'm definitely looking to exceed that.
Yeah, I mean, like half the men can even do their own body weight once. So, dude, the sky's the limit. You're gonna go up.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Dude.
I hope so.
And do you take any supplements or anything?
No supplements.
No B12 or anything?
No, actually, that's something I wonder if I should be more concerned about it than
Do you
I
ever
am.
take a test?
I haven't. I want to get some blood work done.
Get a blood work. Yeah, do it beforehand and then see where you're at.
Nice. Do you have any recommendations for like?
Oh, where to get that done?
Yeah.
You just go to, or I don't know if you have insurance, but you could get it through your doctor. Be like, hey, I want to get my blood test, done on B12 and get some other things done. Get your cholesterol checked, so you can show off. You're like, my cholesterol's like under 100.
Nice.
So not a lot of people are gonna have that. So.
Yeah. Do you think it's an important thing for us as like raw vegan 80-10 people to do to have that kind of information?
Oh yeah, and then throw it online. Throw it online because people want to see it. They want to see people are dying from heart disease and stuff, and they're on Lipitor and all this crazy high blood pressure medication. They're like, look, I got perfect blood, perfect high, I got perfect blood pressure and things like that, just to show people that, hey, I've been doing this diet, this fruit-based diet, lower protein but sufficient protein. And, I'm lifting weights. I got perfect blood tests. My doctor said, keep on doing what I'm doing. So,
nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, the blood work definitely helps. And it's, it's not just like, oh, I feel good, subjective things. Yeah, this is concrete evidence.
Nice.
I highly recommend it. I would say get your vitamin B12. You're going to get it's called MMA. A test or a homocysteine test that will tell you better than just getting your vitamin B12 tested. What else can you get? Oh, get a vitamin D just in case you live in a colder climate, don't you?
Yeah.
So you definitely want to get that. And if you can't get the sun during the winter months, go for a tanning bed or a vitamin D supplement.
Yeah, we're gonna grab a light that Don Bennett recommended.
Yeah.
His talks. So we're gonna splurge on that. Try to make that investment. Worth it. Yeah, how's the sunlight in winter in Chicago?
It sucks.
Yeah.
It was so cold in Chicago this last time. There's a pond by our house, a man-made pond, and all the fish died in it. For the first time that's ever happened before. It was
wow.
Yeah, all the fish that when the lake thawed out, all the fish floated up on the top. Yeah, that's how cold. It gets really dark in the winter time too. It's really depressing. So I'm trying to get the hell out of Chicago. Mikkei Arnesen, it's like, come on, you gotta go to Hawaii, man. That's where it's at.
Trying to bring everybody there.
Exactly. He even did like a whole class talking about going to a tropical climate. Yeah. I think that means a lot. I think that that time change really messes me up. I don't know if you notice that too. When it gets really dark outside,
it's crazy. Yeah. So, what do you have any tips for people who are like having struggles with that? I mean, a lot of people talk about how hard it is to like just get fruit when it's cold, but like we got to get fruit and like get out of bed and go to the gym or something, or do cardio if that's what we're after.
I would say consistency and having just and find somebody else that's doing it. I mean, you got both of us doing it, but try to mirror what other people are doing. Like, I go to a wholesaler, get most of my fruit, and I get it for really cheap. I get a box of bananas for like $5. 40 pounds worth of bananas. Sometimes they give it to me, and actually I have so many bananas, I can't even. I dry them and I freeze them, and sometimes I'll take them and I'll give them to a food pantry because I can't get through them all. I got like 140 pounds worth of bananas. I'm like, here, just take them, give them away to friends and family. So there's ways to do it, and don't be afraid about money. But you have to try to be consistent and keep on going for it. Even if you mess up, just keep on going. Same thing with the weights. Consistency will win out, even if you are not the greatest lifter at all. And have a goal. The goal is better than having a perfect bench press every single time you go in.
Yeah.
So I would say consistency is the biggest thing. What about you? Any tips for?
Yeah, I mean the best thing for me by far has just always been routine. Like having that schedule. It's like you get up. Like I get on the rower most mornings, and then like I try to take an hour break actually during my day at work and hit the gym then. Just so like I know that's when I do it, and I get out and do it no matter what. Like it's raining in Portland, which it does all the time in the winter. Just go out and do it. Yeah, that's what the schedule is.
And putting it in a habit. And I know a lot of people are like they're stuck on meat and things like that. But the only way you're gonna break a bad habit is by installing a good one. So you can't just like, I'm gonna stop eating meat or grains and things like. You have to introduce to be like, instead of saying I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna stop eating meat and dairy and things like that, to say I'm gonna eat fruits and vegetables, and I'm gonna have fruit during the day and a big salad at night, a little bit of nuts and seeds, and after a while you have a concrete schedule and a habit of doing that.
Yeah.
So that's the number one tip is install some good habits.
Yeah. Great. I think the last question I have is how do you deal with the haters?
Oh, the haters.
People love to hate, especially on exercise videos.
Oh yeah, it's endless. I mean, what are they gonna say? I mean, you know what I say? Especially the people that have no videos, no pictures, and I'm like, they're always saying, oh, that's bad form and everything. I'm like, you don't have a form. How about you upload some videos and see what you got? Because seriously, the fruit eaters definitely outlifting you. So not a lot of people doing what I'm doing. So what are they going to say? And plus, people in person that I help train, I work at a high school and things like that, they can't say anything because I'm lifting a crazy amount of weight and I'm eating mostly fruit. What else could they say? The number one question they always ask me, they're like, where do you get that protein? There's no protein in fruit. And then after a couple minutes of conversation, they're like, but where do you get your fruit from? So, and they get really like, oh, where's the protein? Where's the calcium? They're always trying to find out, and they're like, blah blah blah. And but then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want to try out that diet. So, I got people that are like, oh, you're a food freak or something like that, and like I said, after 30 minutes of talking to me, they're like, oh, but I like to try this diet out for a week or so. I'm like, well, great. I mean, spend some more time and write down some things for you.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, just I guess with the haters, and some people, you have genuine concerns. Like they want, if you got friends and family, they want you to be healthy. They're saying it for you, and you can just tell those people that, hey, look, I'm just gonna try out this diet for a while, and I'm gonna get some blood tests and make sure I'm doing everything I can to be healthy. And if I have any problems, I'll stop. It's not, that's the main thing. They don't want you to hurt yourself on this kind of diet. You might get those other people that are like, they just want to hate everything you do, and there's no pleasing them. So you just have to ignore them because, no matter what you do in life, there's people are going to make fun of you no matter what you do. So I wouldn't worry about those people. But the genuine concern about people, those are a different issue.
Yeah, so just show them.
Yeah, show them.
Yeah.
Here's my blood work. Oh, you're still on Lipitor? I mean, like.
Yeah.
So I think that's good for our interview, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking for more lifts and. Wait, man, you're probably gonna go up. You're a little bit taller than me, I think, too. 150 from 115. That's a huge amount of weight.
Yeah. So I'll be hitting it pretty hard. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to the videos, man. Yeah, your Instagram, Raw Vegan Training Instagram. Over what? How many?
Almost about 4,000 right now.
4,000 people on Instagram. How long you been doing Instagram for?
I was sitting probably right there last Woodstock Fruit Festival with my wife, and she was saying, you know, you want to do like weightlifting, you want to like try this diet, you should do like a YouTube and Instagram channel. And I was like, that sounds like a terrible idea. People are gonna call me names, like they're gonna be mean to me. Like, no way, I'm not gonna do that. Like, it's so much like stress.
Yeah, it is.
But then I did it, and it's blown my mind. Like, how many people are looking for that kind of stuff out there?
Yeah. And it's been mostly positive. I mean, we talk about haters, but
yeah,
I get more. It's been more positive than hate. So if you're out there and you want to, if you just started lifting and eating this way, don't feel bad about putting up some videos. And even if your lifts suck, you can always come back to those people that really hate on you, like I did in a couple of videos. Like I did, like, for my first videos, I did like 300 pounds for my deadlift for reps. And then they're like, oh, that sucks. You know, these guys can lift more than you, blah, blah, blah. And I come back, I'm like, yeah, I'm deadlifting more than, triple my body weight. What are you going to say now? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're thinking about starting this on your own, Instagram is way more positive, I found, than YouTube. YouTube will put like a deadlift video up and people will be like, Snap City, you suck, asshole. And then on YouTube or on Instagram, even if they don't like it, they're like, oh, hey, let me give you some advice on like your form or something. But most people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, I like this. This is awesome.
Everybody likes fruit too.
So if you're a little sensitive, start on Instagram first and then go to YouTube.
Yeah.
A little tougher crowd.
Yeah, and plus it's really easy just to take a picture of something than doing like a whole video.
Yeah, and our diet is so visual. I mean, which is part of its appeal. Like, we're attracted to fruit.
Yeah, it
makes sense.
It's really easy.
Photos of it.
So, is there any other websites that you like? They're like, wow, that really inspired me over the time.
Yeah, I just spend a lot of time on Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty much where I get my inspiration. I have a lot of people I follow. And
I'm a big fan of nutritionfacts.org, veganbodybuilding.com. Man, those two right there. You have those, and you throw in some like the Fruitarians channel, fruitarian.com. Throw that in there, and you got the best of everything. So I think we're gonna end this interview, and I hope you guys learned something with this. And hopefully we want to see some videos from you guys. Don't make me and Mike here get you all the glory. All right, we'll see you guys next time. This is Fruit and Strength and Raw Vegan Training. Yeah.
See ya.
You should do.